Jerry
What's up, my people, and welcome to the Sn95 Power Channel. I don't have my gimbal, so y'all gotta excuse me. This is really just off the cuff. Sometimes I do stuff and it feels like it's real basic, but I just have to remember the range of experience for the audience. And I wasn't gonna do this, but this is just installing a battery box in the rear of the car. So you might have noticed on some of my older videos, the car was kind of struggling to start. I even had a battery charger hooked to it. I've had this battery tested. It's got a couple of dead cells. And I originally had this battery box hooked up. You know, if you check out the old video, part of the wire tuck process, I ran the cable in for the 12 volts, the main feed for the battery inside the car. I know a lot of people love to do it on the outside. Real quick video right now. So I got a different battery box for Optima battery. This is like a little Amazon thing. Very cheap. It's sturdy. It'll hold it. This is a Group 78 Optima battery with the front post. It's got the screw-in stud or places for screw-in posts in the front. I'm doing it that way. So this is what I'm gonna do. I use this hole for the old battery box. I put some thread lock on the rod. I didn't feel like dropping the fuel tank to get that out, so I just mangled this to pull that thread rod out. So I'm going to use this factory drain hole for the new battery box, which is that hole right there. And the cool thing about this, I believe, don't get me wrong on this, but to be NHRA compliant with a battery box, it has to be mounted to the I just lost that, to the unibody. So this hole is part of the unibody. So technically this battery box would be NHRA sanctioned. I don't have a external cutoff switch, so the car isn't NHRA compliant anyway. But if you're seeking to go that route, you know, this is just an easy way to mount your battery box. I'm in the process of drilling this out right now. I got 3/8 bolt somewhere around here, and I just need to use a step bit, widen this out, and we should be good to go. All right, fairly simple. So I did go with a larger diameter washer just to cover up that hole. These are grade, they're the highest grade bolts and washers that I can get from the hardware store. Let's take a look up front. So this is how it's going to sit, and now that I think about it, I might have a problem with the battery sitting in here. So let's kind of test fit it. All right, looks like it'll work. This is a little hard to go down, but we can work around that. Now I just got to figure out where I'm going to mount my circuit breaker, since everything's different now. Gosh, it's so weird doing this without my gimbal. I think this is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the front post of this positive side off. I'll mount the circuit breaker up here, and I'm going to add a couple more bolts on the bottom of this plate also. So I got some blue thread lock. I'm going to put that on the main supporting bolt. I'll add 2 like a little self-tapping screws, and that should be nice and secure. Then I'll take this top plate off, mount this. The ground is I guess I'll keep the ground right here too. I'll put the ground back up here. That's going to run up here. I'm just going to take both these off. It seems like I just don't need them. So I'll remove these and just have everything going to the top. It's in here, it's solid. I know it looks like spaghetti, but I got invited to roll out with some friends. So I'm gonna get this car on the ground. We're gonna do this first ride. full lock on the wheel this way because I got some stuff in the way. Man, this temperature is climbing too fast. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get down the street. First ride. I'm gonna have to shut it down. Crap, I remember I can't go full lock on the steering. I can't remember which way I can and can't go. We might be good. Temperature problem though. All right, so I've been having some time to sit and reflect on what kind of happened. So the car is running high at idle, and when I took the car out, I had a moment where when I was moving, the temperatures were starting to drop. So that lets me know that it's not a airflow issue while the car is moving, but it's an airflow issue while the car is sitting still. So either it's the cooling fan or the radiator. So I don't really think it's the radiator. For one, the temperature dropped as I was driving it. So I think it was something to do with the cooling fan. So I basically just took the stock connector that I was using and plugged this in, hooked it to a battery. It blows plenty of air. So for whatever reason, it could be the high current relay on this CCRM is bad, or the other thing is maybe in the tune I might have made a mistake. I might change the tune where I'm shutting off, or I didn't have one of the set points correct. So what I did is I went into tune and I just set the high current and the low current set points exactly the same. So whenever the fan cuts on, it should be receiving the most current through the constant control relay. So I'm gonna start the car, get it up to temperature, and see if my theory works. If that doesn't work, I know hooking it up directly to the battery, it flows high speed in this configuration. So what I'll do if I can't get the CCRM to pull more current through this, I ordered a relay and another circuit breaker, and I'll use the constant control relay module to trigger a high current relay, and I'll have the 12 volts ran through the relay, through a high current relay. So the constant control relay will not be driving the cooling fan anymore, it just trigger the cooling fan. I'll use a high current relay to drive the high current fan. When all that stuff comes, I'll get that video going, but hopefully just doing this little simple tweak might be the cure to my problem.
So this is what I'm talking about, y'all. Tuner Pro RT. This is the set point for the high speed fan to turn off, to turn on. Low speed fan, turn off, turn on. I just made both of those the same value. Alright, fan should be on now.
Yeah, I don't feel like this is high speed, the highest speed. So let's do our other experiment here. So I can kind of get a gauge of how the fan should sound and feel on high speed. Let me hook it up right now. All right, I'm about to directly to a 12 volt source. It's the same configuration with this connector. So we'll see a difference between the CCRM controlling the fan current and just straight to 12 volt source. That sounds way different to me. Did that sound different to y'all? It definitely sounded way stronger to me. So I think for whatever reason, the CCRM just isn't outputting enough current to drive this fan at high speed. So what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I got a circuit breaker and a high current relay coming, and I'm just going to use the constant control relay module to trigger the relay, but I'm going to just use 12 volts from the, my 12 volts bus or battery to just drive the fan. And I think that will relieve the issues I was having, because yeah, this is way more powerful. Doing it this way, I can actually feel the air being drawn in. That's how strong this is. And this is a Taurus fan. I believe, no, this isn't the Taurus fan. This, oh yeah, this is actually, let me think about this. What fan is this? What happened to my Taurus fan? I think I sold my Taurus fan. This is, I think this is just a Mark 8 fan that I had. Yeah, this is my Mark 8 fan. So this has got to be my modified setup. So this is a GT shroud. Let me just make sure it's all disconnected. Is it turning? Nope, it's not turning. Yeah, so this is a GT shroud with the Mark 8 motor, and I believe the GT blade. Gosh, it's been so long. I don't know if I remember if I used the Mark 8 blade. You can actually count the number of blades. There's a difference between the GT and the Mark 8. God, did the GT have more blades or the Mark 8? I don't know. It's been 5 years or maybe 6 years since I did this. But yeah, so I'll use a fan controller because I think my CCRM is jacked up. So I got that stuff coming, and the next video you see would be me installing the relay and the circuit breaker.